all kinds of electrical devices operating. So, second image. So this geomagnetic storm had its peak between the 4th of September and the 5th of September. The dark bar in the middle is about noon, and that's the highest intensity, which means at that time, UTC, the Earth's magnetosphere was being bombarded like crazy with ionized particles coming from the sun. Now, as I've mentioned, this affects, it is known to affect all types of electrical devices. So it's not surprising that it could have affected our recorder, our recording device. Let me align this a bit better here. It could have affected our recording device. The other possibility is that it did not affect the recording device, but it affected in some way the plant itself. The plant itself being affected by disturbances in the Earth's geoelectromagnetic field. And that plant reaction, that possible plant reaction to that geomagnetic storm, we maybe see here as this big dip. Now, this would obviously be quite something if that were the case. It would mean that this plant specifically, or more other plants in general, sense through very weak electrical currents the state of the Earth's geomagnetic field, or better said, whether it's disturbed or not, and they react to it. Right? I think you agree with me that something like that would be quite an amazing discovery. Now, as much as I would have liked this to be true, at this point I simply don't know whether this is the case or not. And the reason is fairly simple. At this point, I have only this one recording for this one plant on this day that the geomagnetic storm happened. And as we know, the recorder itself could have been influenced by the geomagnetic storm and could have been responsible for this dip here. In that case, if that were the case, if the recorder is exposed to this kind of electromagnetic effect, then obviously we can't say that it was the plant that reacted. It was simply the measurement equipment that reacted. And from this one measurement alone, I have no way of telling whether it was an effect on the recorder or whether it was an effect on the plant. So that was our mystery signal. So the question now is, how can we find out? How can we really, through experimentation, find out if this is an effect on our plant or is an effect on our recorder? And the answer to that is quite simple. What we need is a control experiment. and scientists obviously know very well what I'm talking about. A control experiment is, in our case, taking the recorder and instead of hooking it up to a plant, you don't hook it up to anything. Maybe a wooden stick or nothing at all. And you have this recorder running in parallel to all the other recorders that you have. If I had a recorder running as a control at the time when this mystery signal was recorded, let me definitely call it mystery here now. So if I'd had a control recorder running, then I would have seen in the control recorder's recording if that same valley had occurred there as well or not. If the control recorder had shown me the same valley that I see here from the plant-connected recorder, then, okay, that would have told us the geomagnetic storm affected the recorder, and that's that. That's what we're seeing, and there's nothing mysterious about it. But if that control recorder had not shown this big dip here, while the normal plant-connected recorder would have shown this dip, then we could have been more confident about an actual plant reaction about an actual plant state producing this mystery signal. And that would have told us, well, there's actually a connection between plant states, plant metabolic states, and events in the geomagnetic field of the Earth, which again, I'm repeating myself, you'll agree that that would be quite a statement to make or to have confirmed. But anyway, I don't have a control, so I didn't have a control, and I cannot repeat this experiment, obviously, because it depends on solar storms occurring. So the only thing I can do is set up a control now, set up a new control, and have it run somewhere, and wait for the next geomagnetic storm to happen, so that we can then make exactly this comparison that I've just talked about. Now, my resources are a bit limited, and I don't have enough to just set up a recorder as a control. So this is a call out there to people who think that this might be, to the people who are interested in these videos I'm making, are interested in these types of questions, and are interested in actually doing a bit of science themselves, which is not complicated, which requires almost nothing in capital investment, requires a bit of time and a bit of patience. But it's a call out to anyone out there who would want to join me in investigating this, either plant voltages in general, or in particular this mystery signal. So the video is so long that I have to conclude this now. And I want to conclude this by inviting you to contact me at my email address, which is Phyclops at Proton Mail. And my email is also available on the YouTube profile. I think it's somewhere in business, I don't know, business inquiries or whatnot. It's public. Anyway, if you're interested in helping out with this kind of investigation, or if you just have general questions, then just drop me a message. I'll be happy to respond. All right then. I think I'll leave it at that for today. Hope you'll have a good day. Today is Friday, so weekend is coming. Thanks for listening again, and bye-bye.